Still active today, Ed the Ace McCulloch. The winner of the inaugural Ontario 500 IndyCar race in 1970, Jim McElreath. The winner of the 1952 Indy 500, Troy Ruttman. And the 1989 NASCAR Winston Cup Rookie of the Year, and a driver who's won more than 1,000 feature events in his career, Dick Trickle.
Now, we have one change already. Gary Bettenhausen, well, he sort of had an incident yesterday during testing, and he could not get the car repaired in time, and so Gary Bettenhausen will not be competing here tonight. However, he will be the crew chief for Troy Ruttman. Now, a bit about the format. There will be 3 races here tonight featuring the Fastmasters. A 10-lapper utilizing the 5/8 mile oval. Another 10-lap race utilizing a modified road course, which has been built down in turns number 1 and 2. And the feature, a 12-lap race, will utilize both 6 laps on the oval and 6 laps on the modified road course. Now, joining me is former NASCAR driver Fred Lorenzen and the host of Saturday Night Thunder, Dave Despain. Fred, it's good to see you, and it's especially good to see you in a driver's uniform. Are you ready for this tonight?
I'll tell you after the race, Dave. We tried the cars out yesterday, Bob, and the cars are really something. The Jaguar XJ220. Unbelievable car. Really handles them in the corner, and just gotten get used to it. I've been away with them 20 years.
Fred, I'm dying to know the answer to this question because we've all watched you out there practicing, you with the other guys. You retired at the peak of your game and haven't been back in a race car with one exception since. How hard is everybody going to race these $750,000 a copy cars out there tonight?
Dave, it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm going to run it as hard as I think I can run it and keep it under control. It's got real wide tires. It's low to the ground. I also drive the same kind of car at home, a Jag, and they really handle good. And this one's handling good. It's just hard. You know, everybody's just going to adjust themselves. It's a short race, 10 laps. You run as fast as you think you can handle it.
Are you excited about it?
Oh, yeah, it runs good, it handles good, and I love the car.
Now, Fred, you were in a stock car for many, many races when you were regular on the stock car circuit, and I'm sure toward the end of the career got to be old hand. You didn't have the butterflies as you did at the first of your career. Do you have them tonight?
Nah, not really. I wish it was all over with, and I hope I can win the race. I mean, I'm starting right up front. And all you got to do is stay out of trouble, and I'm going to just try to get away and get out of there because everybody's going to be touching it. Even though the cars are $700,000 machines, everybody's trying to win it. If I can just get away, I'm going to be gone. I mean, the cars handle good. They are really some car. Unbelievable machine.
Who do you think is going to be the toughest competitor tonight in your group?
I thought it was going to be Bettenhausen, but Bettenhausen didn't make it. I think they're going to all be tough because they're all running strong. I couldn't pick. I wouldn't pick one person out.
Well, obviously, it's going to be a terrific battle tonight. We're all looking forward to it. Bob, you got a whole lot more going on here besides Fastmasters tonight. Let's talk about midgets.
Yeah, let's talk about the midgets that will be a part of the racing here tonight, just as we have in the other Saturday Night Thunder events. Now, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series is at Michigan International Speedway this weekend for the Miller Genuine Draft 400. Here's a look at how they qualified for that event. Now, Brett Bodine will be the pole sitter of the race. Starting second will be Ricky Rudd. Third is Davey Allison. Fourth is Ken Schrader. And starting fifth will be Ernie Irvin. Well, almost as important as the drivers in the Fastmasters Championship is the car that they will be competing in, the world's fastest production car, the Jaguar XJ220.
It's expensive, fast, and gorgeous. The XJ220 is a 2-seater, mid-engine, rear-drive specialty sports coupe. It's powered by a 3.5-liter V6 24-valve twin-turbo fuel-injected engine, producing 542 horsepower and 475 foot-pounds of torque. All of that should take you from 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds and give you a top speed of about 220. It's considerably longer and wider than a Chevrolet Corvette, and it also costs more. You need deep pockets or a rich relative to buy this one. Going price, $750,000.
Speedweek is brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when.
Coming up, Jerry Grant Wireless, a behind-the-scenes look at the Fastmaster experience.
Everybody that I've talked to thinks they're going to win.
And highlights from all the week's racing action.
Burt Reynolds for Quaker State.
The Big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. You know, when it comes to protecting against friction, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to protecting against viscosity breakdown, nothing beats Quaker State. When it comes to keeping engines clean, nothing beats Quaker State. Take it from me, for unbeatable protection, nothing beats Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil.
We're gonna have to bail.
What about the Bud Light?
No time. There's only one left. You take it. I'll never forget you.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Not so fast. Yes!
When it's this hot, don't take chances. Only Armor All Protectant guarantees your new car's dash from cracking. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All.
Ow! Oh, Rex, go get me the vice grip pliers.
Rex! Get lost!
Rex!
Rex, down! Rex!
Thanks, Rex.
Vice grip locking pliers, the handyman's best friend.
In 1972, Jerry Grant was in his 6th Indianapolis 500. Driving the Dan Gurney-prepared Mystery Eagle, he found himself leading with less than 20 laps to go. But then on lap 189, he pitted for tires and refueled from teammate Bobby Unser's tank. USAC penalized Grant by not scoring him the rest of the race. Although he was second under the checkered flag to Mark Donohue, Jerry was awarded 12th place.
Welcome back to Speedweek live at Indianapolis Raceway Park. I'm Bob Jenkins. Most of the competitors in the Fast Masters Championship arrive here in Indianapolis on Thursday. Now, we have been with Jerry Grant for the past few days as he made new acquaintances and renewed some old ones here in Indianapolis.
Freddie, would you ever thought we'd be racing again at, 58 years old?
I got to see this car.
That car is so beautiful that it's a shame to run it.
I'd rather, maybe Milwaukee. We should take him up to Milwaukee.
Freddie, you were my hero on that stock car circuit, I'll tell you. There we go. We are one of the masters, right?
I can't wait to see the car tomorrow.
If these Jags handle like they look, we're going to be in paradise. Freddie, here you are. You're king of the hill.
Well, I hope I am. Hope that is in 7 weeks.
You got to have a big satchel to carry all the money that you're going to make home.
So 58, and that's all. You're a baby.
You can't kiss the girls before the race starts, though.
Then I'm not going to go.
Come on. This guy not only was fast on the track, but he was fast off the track. Hey, we have one of my heroes, the straight line king.
McCulloch. How do you do? Lorenzen. Freddie, nice to meet you.
We got no chance down the straightaway. None whatsoever. Excuse me, were you out practicing in a modified car at the track yesterday? Hey, hear this. We have a problem here.
Was he really?
Practicing at the track in a race car? Where's the rule book? Well, there's a couple more gentlemen that think they're going to win. Gary Bentonhausen, Jimmy McElreath. Gurney said that he was the best driver that he had ever seen in his life, bar none. I mean, there's nobody in this group that I don't admire. I mean, you know, you look at the people, and everyone has done well in their chosen sport. Well, let me tell you, this is an experience of a lifetime, and it's like returning to 15 years ago. I forgot about the pressures that are involved. I look at those cars, and they're fast and beautiful, and the people that I'm going to go out and compete with. It's a wonderful, strange world. I love the sport. I've been on the outside looking in for 10 years, and now I have the opportunity to go out there and compete. The Fast Masters concept, to me, is about the best thing since, I don't want to say since sex, but it's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's go take a look at these beauties. I wonder if the world is ready for this. Fast Masters, here I come. Once I'm in here, I feel like I'm at home, but before I go out on the track, I'm sure I'm going to get an adrenaline rush, and memories are going to come back of how many times that over 20 years of racing that I sat on the starting grid. Well, I'm going to be nervous, no matter what I say, but once the flag drops, then it's like the frosting on the cake, and I'm into my realm. Oh. You've got no right to spin at this stage of the game. I mean, that's what we call brain fade.
Yeah. The harder you run it, the more it pushes, the more you got to keep burping the throttle, you know. You can't get the thing to turn. And just I ran it in deeper and kept running in deeper and deeper to find the limit, and I found it.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to go 100 laps in these honeys. They'd pull me out and have a stretcher ready. Yeah. It makes a difference to me if I see Mako wreath on the back of the car. I know what I'm in for, and et cetera. I think a lot of it is in racing, it's like baseball. A good pitcher knows that the batter is a sucker for a curveball or a high ball or a fastball or whatever. And you know you've competed with these people in various arenas, and you know what their strengths or weaknesses are, and there's a few of them that have no weaknesses. See, that's the trouble. You run with all these guys that are used to winning and leading. I mean, there's nobody here that isn't used to that. It's great. Yeah. Hey, honey, this was fun. Maybe I retired 20 years too early.
I was afraid of that. You know, I thought you got all this stuff out of your system by now.
Hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Jerry Grant, as he came to Indianapolis on Thursday and talked with some of the competitors that he'll be racing against tonight here in the Fast Masters Championship. Now, we have qualifying that has already been completed for the Midgets. They, of course, are also a part of this Saturday Night Thunder event here tonight. But the biggie is the Fast Masters Championship. And with Jerry Grant live now is the newest member of the announce team here at Saturday Night Thunder. And we switch now live to Dave Wilson. Dave?
Thanks a lot, Bob Jacobs. We are here with Jerry Grant. Here it is, Jerry. Saturday night now. You're here. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. What an opportunity. I mean, this is, I think I died and went to heaven.
Are you excited about running these cars now? You know, you've driven a lot of different types of automobiles, and now here you are running the Jaguar. Have you driven any other car in the past that's given you a little hint as to how these cars will handle?
Well, Dan Gurney and I spent a lot of time in the GT40s winning the World Manufacturing Championship, and they were about a 220-mile-an-hour car, very similar to these Jags. So I would say that was close. But this has got to be the best-looking car in the world, and what an opportunity to race with all these champions from the past and the present from every division. NASCAR, kart, Indianapolis, drag racing. I mean, my idols, they're all lined up here.
Who's going to win?
Yes, that's true.
Yes, sir. We're going to go back to Bob Jacobs, Jerry Grant, with an interview. He's excited.
Thanks very much, Dave, and good luck tonight, Jerry. Well, this past week, the auto racing community lost a former world champion. James Hunt, Britain's last Formula One champion before Nigel Mansell died of a heart attack at his home near London. He recorded 10 victories during his career, including 6 in 1976 when he won the world title by a point over Niki Lauda. James Hunt was 45.
To help manage your money more wisely today, get the Wall Street Journal Guide to Understanding Personal Finance. The guide is filled with information you need to know before you buy a home, plan your retirement, or start saving for your child's college years. Subscribe now to the Wall Street Journal. Get 13 weeks of the journal for $37, over 20% off the newsstand price, and your free copy of the Guide to Personal Finance. Call 800-423-1300. That's 800-423-1300.
Bonnie and Clyde wrote Henry Ford a personal note of approval, and its fan club has been growing ever since. Today, there are thousands of hot rod clubs with hundreds of thousands of members. Ford stopped making it in '34, but you can make one today. Call FiberFab at 1-800-328-5671 if you've always wanted one. It's time to join the club.
The boys and their toys are ready to make some noise. The lightning speed of Saturday Night Thunder will make you dizzy. Live USAC Midgets and Sprints tonight on ESPN.
Speedweek's travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. Business first, the comfort and service of international first class at a business class fare. That's the difference on Continental.
Welcome back to Speedweek. The Indy cars were in Detroit last Sunday for a race filled with controversy. It began at the green flag when Emerson Fittipaldi got a jump on pole sitter Nigel Mansell. IndyCar officials gave Emerson the black flag, resulting in a stop-and-go penalty. The day got progressively worse for the current Indy 500 champion as he crashed hard into this tire barrier. Emmo was unhurt. The most furious battle was between former Formula One drivers Nigel Mansell and Stefan Johansson. Johansson got past Mansell, but in the next turn they made contact, forcing Stefan into Teo Bobby's wrecked car and a course worker. All drivers and the worker were okay. That left teammates Danny Sullivan and Al Unser Jr. to duke it out for the lead. It was obviously every driver for himself as Sullivan blocked Little Al, causing him to run over 3 cones. The result was a stop-and-go penalty, much to the dismay of owner Rick Gallis. Mansell was another victim of the tight course when he lost control and tagged a concrete barrier. With only 2 laps to go, Sullivan was trying to hold off A.J. Foyt protege Robbie Gordon. But as you can see from Bobby Rahall's nose cam, Gordon cut a tire and spun, unable to finish. Sullivan recorded his first victory since Long Beach last year and became the 5th different winner in 6 races. Raul Boesel was runner-up for the 2nd week in a row, while Formula One test driver Andrea Motormini pulled off an amazing 4th-place finish in only his 2nd IndyCar race.
And so the penalties continue in IndyCar racing, just like they did at Indianapolis. And joining me is another Fastmaster in tonight's championship, a guy that's certainly no stranger to straight-line racing, Ed the Ace McCulloch. But Ed, what I want to know is, how much experience do you have on ovals and that road course they're going to be using down there?
Well, Bob, you know, prior to yesterday, how about none? But, you know, the cars feel real well. I'm having a great time. It's awesome just to be here.
Have you gone to a driver's school or done any practicing whatsoever in a car similar to the one you're going to be driving?
Well, probably not similar. I have gone out to Bob Bondurant's. I've had spent a couple of days out there. I did a deal a couple of years ago at Buck Baker's school in Rockingham, North Carolina. But other than that, this is it.
Pretty awesome car, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great car. Jaguar's done a super job putting this whole thing together, and it's just an honor to be here.
Now, you've been able to assess the competition. Who do you think is going to be tough tonight?
Well, I've said all along here, I mean, I don't care how old I am or how old the rest of these guys are, the competitiveness is still there, and these guys are all tough. But Bob Aiken, he looks real good out there, especially in the road course. You know, Bobby Allison's come back, and you know, Fred Lorenzen, and I mean, just all of the guys. They're all good. It's going to be a great race.
Let's talk about drag racing very quickly. Last week in Columbus, the 3 winners, by the way, were Warren Johnson, Doug Herbert, and Gordy Bonin. How did Ed the Ace McCulloch do?
Well, we've been struggling a little bit. Both Cruz's car, my car for the McDonald's race team, but Cruz is on a comeback. He ran a little bit better. We're going to test a little bit this week before we go to Topeka, but I will turn it around and we'll be there.
Good luck in the drag racing, and especially tonight in Fastmasters.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate it.
Ed the Ace McCulloch. Well, last week, we told you about the rivalry between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. Well, it continued last week at the Grand Prix of Canada. Here's that story and other highlights from last weekend.
The event was also supposed to be a homecoming of sorts for American Michael Andretti, but hydraulic problems forced him to miss the opening laps. He eventually joined the race and finished 14th. Senna, who started from the 8th position, was involved in a terrific battle with John Alesi on the opening lap. The Brazilian got the spot and eventually moved up to 2nd behind Prost. But with 8 laps to go, Senna's McLaren lost power during a tight battle with Michael Schumacher, knocking Senna out of the race. Meanwhile, Prost coasted to his 48th career victory and, with Senna's DNF, regained the points lead. Also in Montreal, the Toyota Atlantics. Pole sitter Claude Bourbonnet's car stalled at the start and was hit from behind by Kenny Wilden. Neither driver was injured. The battle up front was between Canadians Jacques Villeneuve and David Impringham. Villeneuve held off Impringham for his 2nd victory of the season, bringing back memories of his father's Canadian Grand Prix victory in 1978. IMSA was at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course over the weekend, where Toyota's Juan Fangio recorded his 5th victory in a row in GTP competition. P.J. Jones, his teammate, finished 2nd. It was Toyota's 7th 1-2 finish of the year, tying them with Nissan. In the Exxon Supreme GTS division, Darren Brassfield got his Rocket Sports Oldsmobile past Tommy Kendall's Roush Ford for the lead, but not without making contact. Brassfield took the win with teammate Paul Gentilozzi second, but the two were disqualified not because of the incident, but because of a technical infraction. Kendall was awarded the victory for his second win of the season, but first solo win since coming back from his 1991 accident at Watkins Glen. The SCCA Trans Am Tour supported the Indy cars on Belle Isle. A track-blocking crash at the start brought out an immediate red flag, but there were no injuries, and in fact, everyone was able to continue. On the 35th of 48 laps, Dorsey Schrader in number 12 passed Bobby Archer and recorded his first win of the year and Ford's third straight.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. Being the center of attention makes you uncomfortable. You think a Little Deuce Coupe is a place where tiny chickens are kept. You think Lug Nuts is a high-fiber cereal. BF Goodrich TA tires when you're ready to get serious.
Bloomington, Indiana was the site of last night's inaugural Larry Rice Classic. Chris Malone started from the pole position for the 30-lap USAC Midget feature. On lap 2, Jack Runyon rode over Malone's right rear wheel and barrel rolled off the track, with Kenny Irwin sliding off behind him. Irwin was able to continue and assume the series points lead when Stevie Reeves retired from the action. Tony Elliott in the Potter V6 held off the challenge of Randy Cook and captured his first midget win of the season. And in victory lane, there was no kiss from a pretty trophy girl, just a handshake from an old race driver. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Speedweek. I'm Gary Lee with the old race driver, my buddy Larry Rice. Quite a tribute to have a race named after you.
And I'm not even dead yet.
Yeah, that was a classic, not a memorial. It is the debut of the Fast Masters tonight, but also we have the USAC Midgets. What might we anticipate?
Well, Kenny Irwin took over the point lead last night with quick time there at Bloomington. He's going to be very tough. But the 2 names that come to mind in 1993 here at Raceway Park are Mike Bliss and Kenneth Nichols. They both won races. They're both going to be hard to beat.
I'll tell you what, Danny Dwyer set a new track record. That was a surprise.
Yeah, it will be, and he's going to be tough too, but I still think Bliss and Nichols are going to be the tough guys.
All right, and Bob Jenkins will be back with more of Speed Week live from Indianapolis Raceway Park, preceding our Saturday Thunder.
Way to go, Bo. Nice job, Bo. Way to go, way to go, way to go. All right, Bo. Almost there, Bo.
Almost?
And it's all yours. You think he can do it?
Lipton Original. You can't wait to guzzle, gulp it, chug it.
It ain't hip to sip.
Lipton Original. This ain't no sipping tea.
Which clamp is faster?
An old-fashioned screw-type clamp.
Or the revolutionary quick grip bar clamp?
Let's watch closely.
Here they go!
And it's over! Amazing!
Oh.
Now for the instant replay.
And look at that! 1 finger on the quick-release trigger and the bar slides right into position!
And there, he's tightening the clamp by merely squeezing the quick grip handle. And it's done! You know, unlocking the clamp again was a very nice touch.
The quick grip bar clamp, available wherever quality tools are sold.
When it's this hot, don't take chances. Only Armor All Protectant guarantees your new car's dash from cracking. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All.
The Prince tries to regain the title of King of the Ring. Former world champion Prince Charles Williams takes on Art Bayless. Top Right Boxing, tomorrow afternoon live on ESPN.
We are live at Indianapolis Raceway Park for Speedweek, now just minutes away from Saturday Night Thunder, the Midgets, and the Fast Masters Championship. And the man responsible for preparing these beautiful Jaguar XJ220s is Tom Walkinshaw. At his shops in Valparaiso, Indiana, the cars are being prepared, and we hope not, but maybe repaired. Tom, welcome to Indianapolis, first of all. Why did Jaguar want to get involved in a series like Fast Masters?
Well, we thought it was a good idea. The demographics of the Jaguar buying public are very closely identified with the concept of the series. And we also thought it was a good idea to have racing aces from the past have an opportunity to come before the fans again.
I don't think I have to tell you again what you've probably heard thousands of times here tonight. These are beautiful cars.
Well, obviously we're very proud of them, and you know, Jaguar has a great history of making very beautiful motor cars, and I think this continues the history.
You have results, or at least the standings at this point, of Le Mans. 3 of the XJ220s, by the way, are in that race. How are they doing, and how's the race going overall?
The race is going very well for us at the moment. We're running first and second in the class, and we had problems with our third car, and it's dropped out, but the other 2 cars are running strong, 1 and 2.
And I guess Peugeot is leading the overall Le Mans 24 hours right now?
Yes, it's still a fight between the Peugeot and the Toyota.
Your people up in Valparaiso, Indiana, have spent many, many hours these past few weeks getting these cars together. How much of a job has it been?
It's an incredibly difficult task to prepare 10 cars identically, and we went to great lengths to make sure all the cars are the same. I'd have to say all the mechanics are really excited about working with the drivers here, because you know, many of these guys we have as mechanics are young fellows, and you know, when they started leaving college watching racing, these were the guys who were actually at the top of motorsports, so they're really excited to be working with them.
Well, Walkinshaw Motorsports has been involved in many different types of racing. I know there are a lot of people here in Indianapolis who are wondering, is Walkinshaw Racing going to get involved in Indy cars anytime soon?
I would very much like to compete at Indy. I think it's a fantastic race. I think it's very difficult. It's often underestimated, I think, by some of the Formula One people, how difficult it is. But I've been and watched it once or twice. I would like to have a go, and maybe next year we'll run a team.
Tom, thanks for joining us, and thank you very much for these beautiful XJ220s.
My pleasure.
Tom Walkinshaw. Well, that's going to do it for another edition of Speed Week. Now, we'll be on again next Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, and we'll again be right back here at Indianapolis Raceway Park.